Are BTS's Golden Boys finally showing cracks behind the scenes? Fans are asking the unthinkable. Is Jungkook ignoring Jin's solo tour? What began as mere whispers on social media has exploded into full-blown speculation after a video surfaced showing Jungkook's unusual reaction, or lack thereof, to Jin's highly anticipated solo tour announcement. Could it be possible that the closest brothers in K-pop history are slowly growing apart? Or is this all just a misunderstanding blown out of proportion? The clues are subtle, the emotions are raw, and the truth may be far more complicated than fans are ready to accept. It all began quietly. On June 27th, Jin appeared at Incheon Airport in South Korea, looking confident but unusually solitary, boarding a flight en route to the US to kick off preparations for his solo tour, #RunSokJin EP Tour. The crowd of reporters and screaming fans didn't miss the energy in the air. Jin waved, smiled, and nodded, but there was something else, something hollow in his expression. Was it nerves? Fatigue? Or was there something missing? Someone missing? Because while fans gathered in the thousands to cheer Jin off, many noticed one glaring absence: Jungkook. The youngest member of BTS, Jungkook, has often been portrayed as Jin's playful little brother, often seen joking, teasing, or even just silently sharing space with him. Their bond, though understated, has always felt authentic. But this time, as Jin embarked on what may be one of the most defining journeys of his career, Jungkook was nowhere to see. No farewell selfie, no post, no Weverse mention. Just silence. For a fandom as deeply invested as ARMY, silence isn't just silence. It's a scream. Within hours, social media ignited. Why hasn't Jungkook said anything about Jin's tour? One Twitter user posted, racking up over 200,000 likes. He reposted a brand collab yesterday, but not even a like for Jin's announcement, another added. The comments became sharper, angrier. Others came to Jungkook's defense, reminding everyone that members have supported each other in different ways throughout the years. But then came the video. A behind-the-scenes clip from a promotional shoot surfaced online, a short, blurry recording, but unmistakably real. The BTS members were together in a waiting room, and the atmosphere seemed tense. Jin can be seen talking excitedly with staff, possibly about his tour schedule. Jungkook, sitting just a few feet away, stares at his phone, barely acknowledging the conversation. No smile, no nod, no engagement. And when another member brings up the tour, Jungkook reportedly walks out of the room briefly, only to return after the topic changes. The video spread like wildfire. TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, every platform was abuzz with frame-by-frame breakdowns. Did you see his face at 0021? One user pointed out. He rolled his eyes. Whether that's true or not is up for debate, but in the world of K-pop, even a raised eyebrow can trigger a storm. Some ARMY believe Jungkook is simply overwhelmed with his own commitments. After all, he recently wrapped up global promotions and hinted at another solo comeback. Maybe he didn't have time to show public support. Maybe he congratulated Jin privately. Maybe, just maybe, we're all overreacting. But what if we are? This isn't the first time fans have speculated tension between the two. Back in 2022, during a variety segment, Jungkook jokingly mimicked Jin in a way some fans interpreted as disrespectful. Jin laughed it off, but a few eagle-eyed viewers noticed the smile didn't quite reach his eyes. Then came a podcast in late 2023, where Jungkook was asked to name his biggest musical inspiration among BTS. He mentioned RM and J-Hope. Jin's name didn't come up. Could this be an accumulation of small slights, quietly building over the years? Music analysts suggest there may be deeper layers. Jin's solo style leans more into ballads, rock-inspired compositions, and vocal-heavy arrangements. Jungkook, on the other hand, is diving deep into R&B, EDM, and Western pop. They're both carving different artistic lanes. Industry insiders say that as BTS members mature in their individual careers, inevitable creative differences might arise. Not out of animosity, but growth. But fans aren't ready to call this just growth. Not when emotions are this high. A heartbreaking comment from Jin during a live stream days before the tour announcement has resurfaced. "Sometimes I feel like I'm walking alone," he said, gazing downward. "Even with so many people cheering, it's strange how lonely things can get." At the time, fans assumed he was referring to the pressures of fame. But now, with the timing of everything, some believe it was a cry for connection, perhaps even directed at his fellow members.
Adding fuel to the fire, Big Hit Music, BTS's agency, has remained silent. No official statement, no denial, no clarification. Their silence has done nothing to soothe the swelling rumors. In fact, it's made things worse. And while Jin continues to post tour updates and behind-the-scenes shots, Jungkook's social media remains conspicuously absent of any acknowledgement. Fans have begun tracking even the smallest moves. Did Jungkook accidentally like a fan comment critical of Jin? Was that a vague tweet about walking your own path actually directed at him? Has he removed old posts featuring Jin from his highlights? Of course, this may all be coincidence. The members have repeatedly emphasized their love and unity. In 2021, during an interview, Jungkook stated, "Jinhyung is like the sun. You don't always look at it directly, but you always feel its warmth." Could that sentiment still be true? Or have years of shared pressure, fame, and personal ambition finally driven a wedge, quiet, invisible, but real? Emotions are high, and fans are divided. Some urge patience and understanding. Others are demanding answers. A few are even calling for both artists to address the matter head-on during their next public appearance. What's undeniable is this. Whether intentional or not, the atmosphere around Jin's solo tour has become about more than just music. It's become a reflection of something deeper, of friendship, fame, and fragility. Jin's tour, set to begin in Anaheim on July 17th, is already expected to draw massive crowds and international attention. But now it carries an added weight, the expectation that perhaps, just maybe, we'll get a sign. Will Jungkook appear at one of the shows? Will he mention Jin in his upcoming content? Or will this cold silence linger, transforming one of K-pop's closest bonds into its most tragic mystery? And what if we've misunderstood it all? What if Jungkook's silence is his way of stepping back, letting Jin shine? What if their bond is too deep to be measured in public gestures? Or what if we've been watching a slow fade all along? The answers may come in time, or they may never come at all. Until then, the cameras keep rolling, the fans keep watching, and the questions keep echoing louder. Where is Jungkook in Jin's story? And why does his absence speak louder than words? Stay with us. This story is far from over. The landscape of BTS has shifted dramatically over the last 2 years, with mandatory military enlistment, solo ventures gaining momentum, and each member stepping into his own artistic identity. The notion of BTS as a single, harmonious unit has been tested, sometimes subtly, other times glaringly. Yet through it all, the members have kept up a united front. Or have they? What makes this specific situation between Jin and Jungkook so loud, so unnatural, is that the silence is unnatural. These are not artists known for ignoring each other's milestones. When Jimin dropped Face, every member posted support. When Jungkook released Golden, Jin, even from military service, sent words of encouragement. But now, as Jin prepares for his long-awaited moment, his first solo world tour, Jungkook has been notably distant. Some fans still hold out hope. Maybe he's preparing a surprise, an appearance, a special message to be unveiled at the first show. Maybe this is all part of a larger plan. But the longer the silence continues, the harder that hope is to hold on to. In a fan community as sensitive as ARMY, body language becomes scripture. Every glance, every pause, every word is dissected for meaning. And now even the absence of those things is being interpreted. In the hours following the release of the controversial behind-the-scenes video, a wave of TikTok creators, Twitter threads, and YouTube reactors began piecing together a timeline that suggested a slow unraveling of their dynamic. From subtle social media shifts to interview dynamics and on-stage interactions, fans began crafting theories that painted a far more fragile picture of Jin and Jungkook's relationship. Still, not all believe this narrative. Some argue this drama is entirely media fueled, constructed from shadows and assumptions. They point out that none of the BTS members have ever spoken ill of one another, not even directly. Jungkook is an introvert. He's never been the type to over-congratulate publicly. That doesn't mean he doesn't care. Others echo this sentiment, warning against turning artistic independence into imagined rivalry. They say this is the cost of solo work. Fans start measuring absence as betrayal, independence as rejection. But the emotional core of this controversy can't be ignored. Because for many, Jin is not just a member of BTS. He is the heart of BTS, the eldest Hung, the anchor in chaos, the one who often sacrifices spotlight for humor, who offers warmth without asking for credit. His vulnerability, his raw honesty, his open-hearted artistry have created a deep emotional bond with millions. So when he stands on a global stage announcing his first ever solo world tour, and the youngest member who once clung to him like a shadow says nothing, it hurts. Not just for Jin, but for the fans who have watched this bond evolve for over a decade. The questions grow heavier. Is this a rift or just bad timing? Could it be that behind the glittering world of fame, the members of BTS are simply growing apart, like any group of artists would? Are fans prepared to accept that maybe, just maybe, their bond has changed, not broken, but shifted into something quieter, more distant, more complex? In the entertainment industry, silence is rarely empty. It often speaks louder than any press release. And Jungkook's silence right now is deafening. Adding another layer to this emotional puzzle is the context of their previous dynamic. In past interviews, Jungkook has credited Jin for teaching him how to handle pressure, for being the one who looked after everyone when no one else would. In return, Jin once said Jungkook reminded him of how beautiful it is to grow, a poetic line that captured the spirit of brotherhood that fans held so dear. So if that connection is faltering, even temporarily, it shakes the very foundation of what BTS means to its followers. And then there's the possibility that this is a narrative carefully controlled, possibly even designed by industry strategists. Could the emotional distance between Jin and Jungkook be part of a long-game marketing arc, one that builds tension, draws attention, and sets the stage for a dramatic reunion on tour? If so, it's working. Fans are watching more closely than ever. Engagement is skyrocketing, media coverage is increasing. But at what cost? Because whether real or fabricated, the emotional toll is very real for the audience. ARMY isn't just a fan base. It's a global collective of people who've emotionally invested in these 7 lives for over a decade. Watching 2 of them drift, even in speculation, is nothing short of heartbreak. And yet, there is still room for a twist. BTS has always thrived on the unexpected. What if at the Anaheim opening night, Jungkook walks on stage unannounced? What if he sings with Jin, hugs him, silencing every rumor with one look? What if this is simply the calm before an emotional storm of reunion and clarity? Or what if he doesn't show up at all? That uncertainty is what keeps fans locked in, watching, waiting, speculating. It's what makes this story more than just a headline. It's a living narrative of relationships, fame, and the pressure of being human in an industry that demands perfection. This controversy isn't just about a tour or a missing post. It's about how we perceive loyalty. It's about how fans draw meaning from silence. It's about the fragile balance between public love and private distance. It's about the illusion of permanence in a world where even the strongest bonds can waver. And as Jin's tour approaches its emotional first night, the weight of Jungkook's absence hangs heavy not just on the stage, but on the hearts of millions. So we ask again, where is Jungkook in all this? Will he speak? Will he appear? Will the silence break? Or will the story of Jin's most triumphant moment always carry the echo of one person missing in the crowd? You may think you know the answer,
But in the world of BTS, nothing is ever as it seems. Stay tuned, because just like Jin's voice, soft yet powerful, this story may start quietly, but it could end with a roar.